All right, let's get into it. Today, we're talking about a huge productivity boost that's about to totally shake up one of the world's oldest professions, accounting. We're going to look at a fundamental shift in how the work gets done, moving from total chaos to crystal clarity. And this quote, wow, it just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly sums up what so many accountants are dealing with right now. It's this system that kind of works, yeah, but it's held together with like band-aids and duct tape. It's messy, fragile, and just so inefficient. And that right there, that's the core problem we're going to unpack. So that brings us to what's being called accounting's hairball problem. And I love that term because it's so accurate. We're not talking about just one little snag here. No, this is a giant, tangled mess of different tools that don't talk to each other and a ton of manual tasks. And it all just creates friction and grinds everything to a halt. To really get a feel for this hairball, check out this number, 17. The average CPA firm right now is using 17 different tools to get their work done. And these tools, they often don't even connect with each other. Can you imagine trying to juggle all that? Just trying to make sure all the numbers line up across 17 different platforms? It's wild. And you know what? It gets even crazier. A single big company, we're talking a Fortune 1000 company, might use an average of 800 different spreadsheets just to create one financial statement. 800 spreadsheets. I mean, the amount of manual work there and the room for error, it's just staggering. So, what's the big takeaway from all this complexity? Well, it basically turns these super smart, highly skilled professionals into data janitors. Seriously, instead of doing the high-level work they were trained for, like analyzing things and giving advice, they're stuck spending their days just copying, pasting, and retyping information from one place to another. It is such a massive waste of talent. You know, this really brings up a super important idea, trust. Think about it. An accountant trusts a simple calculator, right? Because it just works every single time. But spreadsheets, they're a whole different beast. Instead of preventing errors, they can actually hide them. A mistake can get buried deep inside some formula, and you'd never know. They don't, as the source material puts it, fail loudly. They fail silently, and that's dangerous. Okay, so how in the world do we untangle this hairball? Well, the answer isn't what you might think. It's not about replacing people, not at all. It's about creating a brand new, really powerful partnership, the human-machine team. And this is where things start to get really exciting. Now, at the very heart of this new team is something called a mindful machine. And look, this isn't just another app or a new piece of software. It's way smarter. It's a knowledge-based system that uses a mix of different kinds of AI. But here's the most important part. It's operated by a skilled accountant. The machine does all the grunt work, all that repetitive stuff, which frees up the human to do what humans do best, use their judgment, and really analyze the results. Of course, to make this whole human-machine team actually work, you need a few key things in place. Think of them as pillars holding the whole thing up. First, you need data that the machine can actually read and understand. Then you need the smart algorithms to do the work. You also need global standards so everything can connect seamlessly. And like we said, you absolutely need those skilled professionals to steer the ship. Okay, I know this might sound a little abstract, so let's make it super simple. There's this fantastic analogy for how this all works. Imagine you're rebuilding the entire accounting process, but with information Legos. It sounds simple, but it's a really powerful way to understand this whole new system. And the comparison is pretty much one-to-one. Just like real Legos, these information blocks are totally modular and standardized. That means any two pieces can just snap together perfectly. They're reusable, so you're not starting from scratch on every single report. And the whole thing is scalable. You can build something small, or you can build a whole financial city, one block at a time. So you can see how this Lego approach creates a way better process. The old way, that was like a slow manual bucket brigade with spreadsheets that were just begging for errors. The new way, it's all about these information blocks. And remember what we said about spreadsheets hiding mistakes? Well, this new system is designed to fail loudly. If you try to snap a block where it doesn't belong, the system immediately tells you, nope, that doesn't fit. It stops mistakes right in their track. So what does all this mean for the accountants themselves, the people right in the middle of this? Well, here's the best part. This technology doesn't replace them. It elevates them. It creates a new kind of professional. You might even call them a super accountant. Let's break down that shift. The accountant of today, they're often stuck in the weeds, just chasing down individual transactions and ticking boxes on a checklist.
But the super accountant, oh, they're playing a different game. They've got the mindful machine handling the tedious stuff, so they can focus on what really matters, analyzing the big picture, dealing with the tricky exceptions, and applying their hard-earned expertise.
And this isn't just a small change. It's a huge shift in how we think about value. The worth of an accountant is no longer going to be measured by how many hours they can bill. Instead, it's going to be all about the outcomes they deliver. We're talking better audit coverage, a higher level of assurance that the numbers are right, and making the business truly ready for anything. It completely flips the economic model of the profession on its head. Okay, let's just take a step back for a second and appreciate how big this really is. This is not just another software update, you guys. What we're talking about here is a once-in-a-generation, heck, maybe even a once-in-a-century revolution for the entire world of accounting. So the big question is, why is this all happening right now? Well, it's because for the very first time in history, all the crucial pieces of the puzzle are finally on the table. We've got the internet connecting everything, we have global standards like XBRL that structure the data, and now we have modern AI that's powerful enough to make sense of it all. These things have been building for decades, and right now is the moment they're all converging. To put it as bluntly as possible, people are calling this a once-in-500-year change. Just let that sink in for a second. 500 years. We're talking about a transformation that's on the same level as the invention of double-entry bookkeeping itself. We're literally moving from a world of manual ledgers and duct tape spreadsheets to a new era of intelligent, connected, and truly reliable systems. And this whole incredible transformation leads us to one final, really powerful question. Because the ultimate goal here, it isn't just about being a little faster or a bit more efficient. It's about reaching a level of quality, a level of reliability that we could have never even dreamed of before. So what if? What if we could build financial reports that simply can't be wrong?